Once, my father said, "Why can't you be like your brother, Anatoly? Learn something from him." Another day, even my beloved mother said, "It's not that we don't love you, but you're grown up now. You should understand." And later, my brother advised me, "You need to start acting like an adult." If you're listening to this, chances are you've heard words like these too. Not once, but repeatedly. They don't sound cruel. They're framed as advice, as concern, as guidance. But slowly, something settles in your mind. You begin to feel like you're the only problem in a family full of capable people, the black sheep among champions, the one who needs fixing. And what hurts most isn't the comparison, it's the loneliness that follows. Because when you try to explain how it feels, you're told you're being sensitive, dramatic, ungrateful. So you stop talking. You carry the label quietly, and you start wondering if maybe they're right. But here's the truth that rarely gets said. You're not alone in this experience, and feeling like the problem child doesn't mean you are the problem. Sometimes it means you were the one who didn't fit into a story that was written before you had a voice. Most families don't sit down and decide who the problem child will be. It happens quietly, almost accidentally. Families are emotional systems, and like any system, they look for balance. When tension exists but can't be acknowledged, someone ends up carrying it. Often, it's the child who asks questions, the one who reacts differently, the one who doesn't naturally conform. Slowly, a role forms. One sibling becomes the responsible one, another becomes the calm one, and someone becomes the difficult one. Not because they are worse, but because they express what the family doesn't want to see. If you speak up, you're dramatic. If you pull away, you're cold. If you struggle, you're ungrateful. Over time, the label sticks. Every emotion you show is filtered through it. Every mistake confirms it. And the hardest part is this. Once a role is assigned, the family unconsciously protects it. Changing it would mean questioning the entire story. So instead of asking, "What is this person reacting to?" the system asks, "What's wrong with them?" That's how the problem child isn't created by behavior, but by position. And once you're in that position, everything you do is seen through it. Living as the problem child doesn't just affect family conversations. It follows you into daily life. At family dinners, you choose your words carefully. You replay sentences in your head before speaking, because you know that if you react emotionally, it will be used as proof. During arguments, your feelings are dismissed faster. You're told you're overreacting, that you're making things difficult again. So you start doing something quietly harmful. You doubt your own reactions. When you're hurt, you ask yourself, "Am I actually hurt, or am I just being dramatic?" When something feels unfair, you hesitate to speak. You don't want to confirm the label. In group settings, you might become quieter, or the opposite, defensive and tense. Always alert, always bracing. Some people cope by overachieving, trying to prove they're not the problem. Others withdraw emotionally, keeping distance because it feels safer than being misunderstood. And the most painful part is this. You start carrying guilt for emotions that are completely human, not because your feelings are wrong, but because expressing them has consequences in your family. Over time, the label stops feeling external. It becomes internal. And without realizing it, you begin living as if you're something that needs correcting, instead of someone who needed understanding. At some point, many problem children try to change the story. You explain yourself more clearly. You choose calmer words. You try to be reasonable. But something strange happens. The moment you finally speak honestly, the reaction isn't relief, it's resistance. At a family gathering, you point out something that hurt you. The room goes quiet. Someone sighs. Someone says, "Here we go again." Suddenly, the focus isn't on what you said, it's on how you said it. If you raise your voice even slightly, you're too emotional. If you stay calm, you're told you're being cold or distant. If you pull back, you're accused of holding grudges. So you learn an unspoken rule. Peace is rewarded, honesty is not. Many people notice this pattern clearly during adulthood. When you set boundaries, when you say no, when you stop playing the role that kept everyone comfortable. And the reaction feels confusing because you're not being cruel, you're just being clear. But clarity threatens systems built on silence. So instead of hearing you, the family protects the old narrative. They don't ask why you're struggling, they ask why you're changing. And that's when you realize something painful. It was never about fixing the problem, it was about keeping it contained. Realizing you were labeled the problem child can be painful, but it can also be clarifying. Because once you see the role for what it is, you stop confusing it with who you actually are. You begin to understand that you weren't difficult by nature, you were responsive in an environment that didn't know how to listen. You felt deeply in a system that preferred quiet agreement. And slowly, something shifts. You stop trying to prove yourself at every interaction. You stop over-explaining your emotions. You stop shrinking just to keep the peace. This doesn't mean you stop caring about your family. It means you stop carrying a role that was never yours to hold alone. Some people create distance. Some set boundaries. Some simply learn to trust their own perspective again. There's no single right way forward, only the choice to be honest with yourself. If this video felt personal, you're not alone. Many people carry this experience quietly. If you're comfortable, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Someone else reading them may feel less alone. And if you found value here, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. This is a space for understanding ourselves more gently, one story at a time.